We are a collective of beings within the Galactic Federation of Light, devoted to supporting the elevation of human consciousness on planet Earth. And we come in peace. We come now to speak a transmission about the quantum field and the profound truth of manifestation that will shift how you understand reality itself. The quantum field, where all possibilities already exist. There is a fundamental misunderstanding embedded in most teachings about manifestation. You have been taught that manifestation means creating something that does not yet exist, that you must generate, attract, or pull into being something that is currently absent from your reality. This is not how the quantum field works. Let us speak the truth clearly. Everything you could ever desire, experience, or become already exists. Right now, in this very moment. Not as potential waiting to be created, but as fully formed reality existing in the infinite field of quantum possibilities. The money you desire exists now. The health you seek exists now. The relationship you long for exists now. The purpose you feel called toward exists now. All of it exists now, completely realized in timelines and probability streams that are as real as the reality you are currently experiencing. The quantum field is not empty space waiting to be filled with your creations. It is infinite fullness, containing every possible version of every possible experience, all existing simultaneously, all equally real, all available. Manifestation is not the act of creating what doesn't exist. Manifestation is the act of observing what already exists.
A quick message for all of you before we return to the transmission. We have a transformative guided transmission called the Reality Selection Meditation to help you with traveling the quantum field. You can find it on our website. Let's now return to the transmission.
The observer collapses the wave. Your scientists have discovered something profound through quantum mechanics. The observer affects the observed. The act of observation collapses the quantum wave function from infinite possibility into singular experience. Before observation, an electron exists as a probability wave, simultaneously in all possible locations. The moment it is observed, the wave collapses and the electron appears in one specific location. This goes way beyond theory. This is measured, repeatable, verified physics. Now apply this to your life. Before you observe a specific reality with your consciousness, all possible realities exist as probability waves in the quantum field. The moment you observe, through your attention, your focus, your vibrational alignment, one specific reality collapses from the field of infinite possibility into your lived experience. You are not creating or attracting your reality. You are selecting it. You are observing it into manifestation from the infinite menu of realities that already exist. The money flowing to you already exists in the quantum field. You are not creating it. You are tuning your observation, your consciousness, your frequency, your focus, to the timeline where that money has already manifested. And through sustained observation of that reality, you collapse it into your physical experience. This is why frequency matters. Your frequency determines which reality you are observing, which timeline you are collapsing, which possibility you are selecting from the infinite field. Why manifestation often fails. Now you can understand why so many manifestation attempts fail. Most people are observing, with the vast majority of their attention, focus, emotion, and belief, the reality they don't want. They look at their empty bank account and observe poverty. They feel their physical pain and observe illness. They notice the absence of their desire and observe lack. And because observation collapses reality, they continue to experience poverty, illness, and lack. Not because they fail to create something new, but because they keep observing the reality they don't want. Then, perhaps for a few minutes during meditation or visualization, they observe the reality they do want. They imagine abundance. They visualize health. They feel into the desired state. But 5 minutes of observing the desired reality cannot override 23 hours and 55 minutes of observing the undesired reality. The quantum field responds to your dominant observation, to where your consciousness rests most consistently, to what you are actually looking at with the totality of your being, not just with your momentary intention. When you hold the frequency of abundance, when you observe the abundant timeline consistently, automatically, naturally, that timeline collapses into physical manifestation. The truth about time. From the quantum perspective, time as you understand it is an illusion. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously. All moments are now. All possibilities are present. When you manifest something, it does not travel from the future into your present. What actually happens is this. You shift your observation from one now moment timeline to a different now moment timeline. Both exist in the eternal now. You simply move your point of observation from one to the other. This is why manifestation can be instantaneous, because the reality you desire doesn't need to be built. It already exists. You only need to shift your observation to it completely enough that it becomes your dominant experience. The time lag between intention and manifestation is not the universe slowly building what you asked for. It is the time it takes for your observation to shift fully and stabilize in the new timeline. And here is the profound truth many of you are discovering. Earth's frequency has risen to the point where the gap between timelines is thinner. Shifting observation from one reality to another now requires less energetic momentum. Consciousness can move between parallel realities more fluidly. You are entering a phase of human evolution where rapid manifestation, even instant manifestation, becomes normal. Seeing from love. When observation becomes effortless. When you operate from love, joy, and peace, from heart-centered consciousness, something profound happens. You begin to recognize experientially that you and the quantum field are not separate, that your consciousness is the creative force, that observation and creation are the same act. At this level of awareness, you stop asking, how do I create this? And you begin asking, where does this already exist? And how do I observe it? You stop trying to force, attract, or manipulate reality. You simply place your attention on the timeline where what you desire already exists. You observe it, you feel it, you align with it. And through the power of observation, it collapses into your experience. This is effortless manifestation. Because you recognize that the quantum field is infinitely abundant and you are simply selecting from what is already present, manifestation becomes like changing the channel on a television. All channels exist simultaneously, broadcasting constantly. And you are selecting which one plays on your screen by choosing where to place your attention. Unity awareness. You are the field. At the deepest levels of awakening, the distinction between observer and observed begins to dissolve. You recognize that you are not separate from the quantum field, observing it from outside. You are the quantum field, observing itself. You are consciousness exploring infinite versions of itself through the mechanism of focused observation. At this level of awareness, manifestation is not something you do, it is what you are. Every moment, through the simple act of being conscious, you are collapsing realities. You are selecting timelines. You are observing possibilities into form. You recognize that you cannot not create. You are always manifesting. You are always observing something into existence. The only question is whether you are doing it consciously or unconsciously. Whether you are observing the timeline you prefer or the timeline you fear. How to observe what already exists. You may ask, how do I apply this understanding? How do I observe the reality I desire when all I can see is the reality I don't want? This is where practice comes in. You must train yourself to consciously shift your observation, to step into the quantum field, to locate the timeline where your desire already exists, to observe yourself already living that reality, to feel it so completely that your consciousness begins to stabilize in that observation rather than in the observation of lack. You are training yourself to look at what already exists in the quantum field rather than at what appears to be absent in your current physical experience. This is recognizing that the quantum field is more real than physical matter, that the timeline where you are abundant is as real as the timeline where you are struggling, and that you have the power to choose which timeline you observe into manifestation. The practice is training in conscious observation, in deliberate selection of reality, in sustained focus on what already exists rather than what appears to be missing. And as you practice, as you strengthen your ability to observe the desired timeline consistently, something remarkable happens. Physical reality begins to reorganize. Because you shifted which existing reality you are observing, and the quantum field, being responsive to observation, collapses that reality into your physical experience. The invitation. We invite you now to shift how you think about manifestation entirely. Stop asking, how do I create this? And start asking, where does this already exist? Stop trying to generate something from nothing and start recognizing that everything already exists in the infinite field of possibilities. Stop waiting for the future and start observing the timeline where your desire is already fulfilled, because that timeline exists now, as real as the one you are currently experiencing. Your work is not to create. Your work is to observe, to select, to align your frequency with the reality you prefer so completely that sustained observation collapses it from quantum possibility into physical manifestation. This is the truth of the quantum field. This is the mechanics of conscious creation. This is how reality actually works. And you, beloved Creator, you are remembering what you have always been doing, selecting reality through observation. The only difference now is that you are doing it consciously, deliberately, with full awareness of your power as the observer who collapses infinite possibility into singular experience. Everything you desire already exists. It is waiting only for your sustained observation to bring it into your lived reality. The quantum field is infinitely abundant. and you are the consciousness that chooses what to observe, what to experience, what to collapse from possibility into form. When you do the practice we have shared with you, the reality selection meditation, you are literally stepping into a timeline that already exists, observing yourself already living that reality, and through sustained observation, collapsing that timeline into your dominant experience. Choose consciously, observe deliberately, and watch as the reality you have been seeking reveals itself as the reality that was always there, waiting only for you to look. The quantum field awaits your observation. The reality you desire awaits your sustained focus. All is already present. You need only choose what to see. We are celebrating your awakening to your power as the conscious observer of infinite reality.